I'm telling you, man. This the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
tracks today.
I wanna fly with you, baby, baby, baby. You and I, baby, baby, baby. I wanna fly with you, baby, baby, baby.
All right, now we turn our attention to the Washington, D.C. swamp, where President Trump's crime crackdown, it is yielding massive results. For the first time that anyone can seem to remember, Washington, D.C., one of the most violent places in America. It has the highest homicide rate in the world, just went an entire week, 7 full days, not one homicide, not one murder. Now, for reference, prior to President Trump, these were headlines coming out of the Washington swamp. 10 killings in 5 days in D.C., leave an international trail of grief. And now 0 murders in 7 days, not a single one. And it's not just homicide. Carjackings, they're down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Car theft down a whopping 21%. Overall crime down 22%. Violent crime. And today, President Trump visited the notorious Anacostia neighborhood in Washington, D.C., which
Trump came to the hood, y'all. Trump went to the ghetto. Do you understand? Trump, not only in his first presidency, he visited the North Korean demilitarized zone and he shook hands with Kim Jong-un. And now he's in the ghetto of D.C., which theoretically, your life is in more danger as a white man in the D.C. village, the D.C. neighborhood of Anacostia. As a white man in the D.C. ghetto, your life is in far more danger than it is in the North Korean demilitarized zone. They're actually pretty careful about who they shoot in North Korea because you're not just allowed to shoot anybody over there. They have rules and order over there. Unlike in the ghetto in D.C. where Trump is he was yesterday giving out hot dogs and shit. This nigga went to the hood and gave out hot dogs and snacks and shit, bro.
has been plagued by horrific levels of violent crime for decades. U.S. presidents, they don't ever visit this neighborhood. Just a short drive from the White House. President Trump, he's not like other presidents. His commitment to public safety, unlike anything we've ever seen. And just a few hours ago, President Trump went to this.
You know what? I need to go back and be petty. Excuse me a moment as I engage in an act of pettiness. I'm going to be petty. I meant to do this a little while ago because I was actually over on this channel, not once, but twice now, debating or defending the National Guard push over there at Sharon Bracey's show. So I got to add Sharon Bracey to the title now. I got to go back and engage in a little element of pettiness, you know, streamer to streamer, nigga to nigga. He'll understand.
This neighborhood, thank the police, thank the National Guard, thanked our service members, men and women, for bringing peace back to our nation's capital. He was hanging out, giving out burgers and pizzas along the way. And according to Trump,
Trump came to the ghetto and fed you hungry niggas. Trump came to the ghetto and fed these hungry niggas. He did just cut your food stamps, though. It's crazy, though. He cut your food stamps, but he went to the ghetto and gave y'all some pizza and some hamburgers. You know, my bad. Hey, you know, it's not personal, it's business, man. I mean, here, have a burger, have a pizza. Get your black ass back.
so much more to come. Take a look.
We've had some incredible results. The results have come out, and it's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital. It's going to be the best in the world. We're going to do what you're doing with law enforcement, and very importantly, also, we're going to physically do it. We're going back to Congress for some money, and we're going to redo a lot of the pavement, a lot of the medians, a lot of the graffiti's all coming off real fast. It's going to.
We're going to clean up your hood, all right? We're going to arrest the criminals. We're going to hand out some burgers and some pizza. We're going to clean up the streets, going to pave some roads, get you nice sidewalks so you niggas love to hang on the sidewalk. We're going to repave the sidewalk for you niggas to hang on. Going to do all these things for you niggas.
Come down real fast, and we're going to be not so much building, it's cleaning and fixing and redoing and putting brand new surfaces down on your roads and streets, and When people come in from the airport all the way to the Capitol or the White House or any place else they go, and they're going to say, boy, this place is spotless. You do the job on safety, and I'll get this place fixed up physically, and we're going to be so proud of it at the end of 6 months. But let's say at the end of a year, this place will be maxed out in terms of beauty.
Now,
shout out to my girl Carmen, the lady of the gulag. 9.99 super chat. U.S. Goddamn right. America is
None
back,
of these
baby.
niggas have motion except for me. There has to be one real nigga left in America in this damn country.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
Oh, I see we have disgruntled Negroes in the chat. Josh is brown. I guess that's a typo. Let me help you out there. Let me guess. Hood defending his white zaddy. Why can't we have 0 murders in a week without Trump?
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Like, if niggas go a week or 2 without murders, it's totally by accident. Like, niggas was just literally busy doing other shit. You need Donald Trump in there to bring your murder rate down to an effective level.
I'll end on a question tonight to Washington's woke lunatics. Was the discomfort of having to walk past National Guardsmen, was it worth the lives that were saved this week alone in our nation's capital? Or is hating Donald Trump more important to you? Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Niggas always hiding behind random white people stats, bro. Have white people sex offended you? Josh is brown. I mean, I know this is a little bit personal. I don't like to get too personal with these things, but I mean, I'm curious now. Have white people sex offended you, Josh? That was a very random thing to bring up. I'm curious now. Like, you good, bro? Are you good? Have you been sex offended by white? Because we're talking about black crime and black areas with black people. And somehow you mentioned white sex offenders. Have you been sex offended? I mean, okay, never mind. I'm going to stop now. It's just a really weird thing to bring up. I don't get it. And, you know, niggas don't really get it either. That's the funny thing. Niggas, you can't expect niggas to get it. Niggas is trying to raise Atlantis, bro. What can you really do with a crowd of people like this? Can a crowd of people like this vote for effective leadership? Do you really think these people can vote themselves into a safe civil society?
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, you know, I have a very low black population.
And shout out to my man Jay Morgan with the whole 50 ball. I'm going tricking tonight, y'all. God damn, we got a 50 ball on the table. Best news show available. Salute. Goddamn right. Goddamn right, bro.
None of these niggas have motion except for me. There has to be one real nigga left in America in this damn country. Can a nigga live? Can a nigga live? Please.
Shout out to my man Jay Morgan with the 50 ball. Smash that super chat button, man. Be like Jay Morgan, y'all. Smash that super chat button from me. We are just getting started today.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry! You not like Hulk angry! Hulk no like fighting girls.
Now, since we're having this conversation about the black crime rate, and Trump basically came in there with it was an iron fist wrapped in a velvet glove. Because, you know, the nigga in the ghetto passing out burgers and shit. He going to be doing this Nino Brown thing, handing out turkeys and backpacks for the, you know, school starting up. He about to give out backpacks. Trump know how to Nino Brown these niggas. But I want to talk about the idea of black people governing black people in America, right? Because, you know, Africa's fucked. We don't want to be Africans no more. But we have to be Americans. And there is an issue that we have with Black America attempting to police itself. We have to grapple with our wayward, sometimes violent, sometimes often revolutionary in spirit youth.
Go ahead, son.
As I was going back to see, he pointed out for me that I could go back when I want to. Go back to where? Huh? Go anywhere.
Sir, could you stand up? We can't hear you. Could you stand up over there by the microphone?
You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. You have raped our great-grandmothers and stuff and changed us. Finish. Let me finish. And gave us a name as a Negro. I am not a Negro. A Negro is a person with a slave at the man. I just want to tell you that. And don't say nothing else to me.
Sir?
My name is Reginald Dobbs. I live at 3319 Maple, one of the ghettos areas that was pointed out in the film. I'd like to direct a question to Reverend Mitchell. Do you think that we will be satisfied with the jobs they are giving us?
Yes, son, I think so. Simply because we are asking that you be trained on the job, and they start you off with a certain salary start rates, and you would be promoted up to the maximum.
No,
job.
I don't believe that. The white man is going to keep you where he got you. You're not going no higher than he wants you to go. And we ain't going to settle for nothing but all the way. About this violence and non-violence, I'm for violence. Because we have pleaded for the last 400 years.
Mr. Meek said you did not speak for it. How would you talk to a young boy like that?
Well, I would say I would definitely have to get the violence done. Well, this is my own way.
I ain't no Uncle Tom.
Well, salvation.
You can't brainwash me.
Jesus said first you seek the kingdom of heaven.
You see, years ago, Chris Rock, he had this, there was a bit in one of his comedy specials about blacks versus niggas. And it was prescient because it was true. And it was a quiet thing that it's an uncomfortable thing to discuss in mixed company. That's why the whole black fatigue conversation was offensive to most niggas, because how dare y'all talk about us like that? Y'all white, y'all done bad things. You can't talk about us, right? But in reality, there is this push-pull between the niggas and the black people who just want to live and be regular people in America. And you say separate yourself from them ninjas, right? But on a practical level, that's just not how it works, right? You land, you are where you land, and most black people live amongst most black people. And so it takes a President Trump to come in with the iron fist and the velvet glove to do the heavy lifting, because it appears black folk haven't done a great job of grappling with this over time. We just haven't. As a community, it's gotten out of our hand.
All of these things.
Heaven is on earth, mind you, brother. Where you gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
Mr. Meek said he wouldn't just die standing on his feet rather than die on his knees. I will die standing up for God. That God is saying this.
Okay. If God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a
No, I
spirit.
ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. Your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white people realize today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro.
And, you know, we were talking about this yesterday, getting over slavery. And here this is probably in like 1960 or whatever. And he's saying that, you know, the white folk, they realized it was wrong. It was a bad thing. And none of these white folk are actual slave people. I mean, they're maybe closer to slavery than we were just chronologically, but still they're not directly responsible any more than anybody today is directly responsible yet. These white folk are just as guilty as those white folk too, apparently. And the whole thing just has to end at some point. And it only ends when we make it end. It only stops when you make it stop.
Wait, man. Let me finish. I'll wait. Why, if you so militant and so intelligent, why don't you keep your mouth shut?
I'll tell you why, Reverend Mitchell, because I'm sick and tired of you standing up there on a television camera, a black man with a white heart and a white face. You're a black man.
And yeah, Red Illusion, you spot on. It's like a collective warrior revolutionary archetype with no end goal, corrupting the collective unconsciousness. Now, what have I been saying about the idea of black masculinity, right? This is a great example of two archetypes of black masculinity. And one of them was obviously taken over by the other, right? So the regular, traditional, hardworking, educated, clean-cut, responsible, respectable black man archetype as represented by the pastor, he was overthrown and shouted down by not only the young, the first YN, as one of you called him in the chat. He was talked and shouted down by the YN, and now you got another older middle-aged guy. And what I was referring to, what I've been long talking about with this black masculinity, is what's really replaced a truer sense of masculinity in Black America has been this masculinity seen through the prism of revolution against the white man. You can only express masculinity if you're going against white people or white culture or whatever. And so that right there kind of explained the early development of that sort of thing. That was on, you know, back when we still had good people take the mic. Like, I only knew recently when people started doing research on Dr. King, like there was an alternative to Dr. King at the time. He had his arch nemesis who wasn't a communist and who wasn't trying to walk people down the path of this democratic plantation, but he lost over time and his name got forgotten by the time I went to school. And now we have this. You got young black teenagers, girls scantily clad, boys all over the countertops, taking over the store. And this is kind of sort of the revolution. Yeah, I mean, it maybe not have been the revolution you dreamed of, but it's the revolution you got. And so there have been a lot of people complaining about what's going on in DC and how Trump is violating people's rights, and this is terrible, and this is just like Jim Crow, and we's back to the days of oppression. That white man gonna get us, blah 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 blah.
This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
You know, I'm happy for the residents of DC because for the first time in fucking ever, there's not really any overt crime happening in DC. For the first time, there's not a bunch of murders. For the first time, there's not a bunch of gang violence. For the first time in many fucking decades, these people can actually go outside and they don't have to climb over homeless people. They don't have to hold their kids' hand and tell them to step around the shit and piss that the homeless leave on the fucking side of the road. That there aren't a bunch of people outside in the middle of the street drinking with their 40s and shit like that. That there aren't a bunch of shell casings little kids have to walk over. Yes, finally, the ordinary residents of DC, the ordinary, people like you and me, our community, can actually get a fucking break. These children can actually go outside. They're not going to get shot. They're not going to end up dead or on t-shirts. For the first time, their parents can take their hand and walk them to the park and not have to explicitly worry about them being shot up on the fucking block. Yes, I'm happy.
You know what? Where's my man John at? I haven't talked to my man John Galt about this DC thing, because all John do, because John is up in DC. John is like a landlord or something in the DC area, and all he does is talk about how awful these niggas is. I need to get John's opinion on the state of DC right now. I need John Galt's on the ground live reaction to the state of DC niggas right now. How are DC niggas reacting? Because regular black folks seem to be happy, but the niggas, I don't know.
Being taken over. I'm happy the FBI. I'm happy the people of DC get a chance to breathe. They get a chance to go outside. These kids get a chance to walk to the fucking park without dying. That's what you're missing. The people that live in these specific streets, these specific blocks, these specific areas are happy that they don't have to deal with the fucking riffraff anymore, are happy they don't have to deal with the fucking piece of shit people that would rather shoot up their own community than do something better with their life. This is the first time in forever they're probably able to breathe. This is the first time in forever I haven't seen a bunch of gang violence happen. Kids' lives have been saved because of the extra police presence. And that's what you guys are forgetting. Children's lives have been saved. Teenagers' lives have been saved. Young adult lives have been saved. Do you understand the amount of gang violence that has not taken place?
You know what this reminds me of? Jack Nicklaus's speech from A Few Good Men, where he says, my existence, though repugnant to you, saves lives. All right, the fact that I am here saves lives.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Since there has been extra support in DC, a lot of lives have been saved, and people are overlooking that.
Yet there are some people, we ain't gonna say no names, there are some people who would have you think that Trump is violating these niggas' rights, and it's terrible, and it just has to stop.
They have rights!
They have rights! So fucking what, man?
What Donald Trump proved, that it's possible to end black on black crime. He proved that, right? In DC, his troops, no murders for the entire weekend. That is insane. And to think that the left would protest against that, to think that the left would say, oh my God, it is a bad thing that black people are now stop killing each other. And the reason why that is a bad thing for them is because that is a core of liberalism, right? That is part of what makes them victims. So if you take away each sort of victim mentality peg or pillar, that's one less person that's going to have a victim mentality. So that's one less person that'll be a leftist, that'll be a woke libtard, right? So they are freaking out. But fuck them. What's crazy is the fact that he could actually fix that. And with police. Who would have thought? That's why I always say every hood should have one prison in it.
Damn, nigga might be on something. A prison for every hood. It's like the El Salvador method.
You're obviously like a street vendor here. Have you noticed a difference since the National Guard has been federalized? Has it impacted tourism?
Let's see. The Army guys, like them, they're
Uh-huh.
cool. They
Yeah.
don't care. They just want violent crimes to come to an end. But like these guys, they've been cool with me. They let me do my thing. Man. They don't really care about the waters. It's not really the waters that's a problem. It's the violent crime that they're
Yeah.
for.
And it looks like they've done a great job here because, what, 9 days now consecutively with no homicides?
Yeah. They've been taking a lot of guns off the streets.
You think as a business here that obviously relies on tourism, do you think that that's going to help tourism? It's going to attract more people in here like that and whatnot?
It's a more safe place to come to. National Guard said more people want to come out and have fun. It don't affect me because I'm not a criminal. I have to stay out the way, come here, sell my waters, and go home.
There you go, doing your thing. Do you think because the local police weren't doing nothing about it, it kind of warranted a federal response, or no?
Say that again?
Do you think because like the local stuff wasn't working out so much, you think it kind of warranted that federal response?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
believe
like
so, yeah, because before they bought the what is it called, the National Guards and stuff here, the police wasn't really doing too much of nothing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I live in, I guess you would say, like the ghetto.
the one common thing I keep getting is that once the National Guard showed up, the local police actually started to do
Start
their
doing more work. Start actually doing their
magical.
job. Like, that's crazy. Like, you would think they would want to do their job.
And you know what? Actually, there was a longer piece about this. Let me go to I think it was PBS NewsHour.
Residents of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding region are still adapting to life under federal control after the president seized authority over the city's police force and deployed the National Guard. Nearly 400 people have been arrested in the capital since the takeover last week. And today, Mississippi and Louisiana joined a number of other Republican-led states in sending hundreds more troops to the nation's capital. In recent days, our team has fanned out across the city to hear how daily life has changed and what residents make of the president's move. Hundreds of National Guard troops are now stationed around parts.
Sugar Bum. I tagged Sharon because I was petty. I was having a moment of pettiness. Is that all right with you, Sugar Bum? Am I allowed to have a moment of spite and pettiness? Does that make you think less of me? Have I diminished somehow? Is my light dimmed in your eyes now that I've shared this moment of pettiness? Oh, we good? We good? All right, well, hush the fuck up then.
Parts of Washington, D.C. and its iconic landmarks. Nightly checkpoints have become routine in some areas of the city,
This is what democracy looks like.
as have protests against the increased security presence.
We don't have the sort of crime problem that President Trump is describing. People do feel safe.
Several D.C. residents, like retired George Washington University professor Jeff Levy, joined a recent protest in
Jeff Levy? Really, Jeff Levy? Jeff?
front of the Metropolitan Police headquarters.
What the rest of the country needs to understand is, well,
Really? No. I'm not even sure. We need an early life check on his whiteness, bro. I'm not even sure. I know how the news be trying to slip motherfuckers past you and shit. Sure, Jeff. Everything's just fine, Jeff Levy. I know, Jeff. Everything's just fine here. Nothing to see here, Jeff. I got you, bro. Nice glasses, by the way. Look like Trotsky's type of glasses. I swore Trotsky wore those same glasses, bro.
they have more legal basis for doing it in DC. This is their goal across the country.
Protect D.C.
This Alexandria, Virginia native, who asked us not to use her name, also joined the demonstrations.
They're trying to make it less and less safe and make you more and more scared. So I hope people will just stand up and let their voices be heard, because most people do not want this.
Lorena and Josiah Bowie just arrived in Washington, D.C. from Florida, as Josiah prepares to begin college at American University.
From what I've seen so far, DC has been one of the safest places I've been. There is not one hint of some sort of crime epidemic.
One of the first stops for the mother and son was the National.
It's crazy how nobody's seen nothing, bro. Isn't it weird how soon as Trump brings all the National Guard and the federal agencies into DC, all of a sudden nobody's seen nothing except the black folk. The niggas in the ghetto, they're like, this is great. I like being able to walk around at night. I don't have to worry about random niggas running up to me. But you know, all these tourists and the white folk and Jeff Levy, I haven't seen anything. I don't know what you're worried about. This is perfectly fine. Sure thing, Jeff.
Mall, where National Guard troops were on patrol, even stopping for photos with tourists.
The National Guard is walking by. So these are the first officers that we do see. I was expecting them to be all over the place, and I guess little by little they are coming through everywhere. To me, it's extremely sad because this is not what this country was founded on.
Although the president declared a crime emergency in Washington earlier this year, the Justice Department reported that violent crime in D.C. had hit a 30-year low, and many residents.
Oh, really? Justice Department reported that violent crime in D.C. hit a 30-year low. That is hella interesting. That is hella interesting. The Justice Department reported earlier this year that crime in D.C. hit a 30-year low. Let's come back to that, shall we?
So can you confirm for us that there have been police officers and detectives and members of law enforcement in D.C. who on the scene of crimes have been told, yeah, don't write that one down, or don't add that to the list, or put that down as a more minor offense?
Absolutely. That's one of the chief complaints of our members when we go around and talk to them, is that they respond to the scenes of these violent crimes. And inevitably, you'll have a captain or a commander or sometimes a lieutenant show up on the scene and advise them to take a report for a lesser offense. One of the things that we see them do often is sometimes there'll be a shooting or a stabbing. And if the victim is uncooperative with the police, which is not uncommon in some areas of the city, they'll be directed to take an injured person to the hospital report, which is not even a crime at all. It's an incident report. Sometimes you'll have a robbery. It'll be reported as a theft. Other times you'll have burglary.
Sugar Bum, I am upset. I am offended, Sugar Bum. I am offended that you would dare impugn my coon. All I've been talking about is Trump is going after these niggas. You just got here acting like these YNs ain't the main point of the show. I just showed a video of what may theoretically be the first ever YN caught on film. Like, we've been talking about these niggas. Where you been?
That are reported as unlawful entry or thefts.
She want me to say it's black men.
Unfortunately, part and parcel of the
that make you feel better.
Some time, and we're very
look. How does white supremacy exist if the state the city of Washington D.C. is literally fudging the numbers for black men? They don't want black men making them look bad, so they are lying on behalf of black men in Washington fucking D.C. How does that work for your white supremacy? Does that help? How does that make white supremacy a thing if they will lie on behalf of black criminal men in Washington, D.C., in the capital of white supremacy, right? They will lie so black men will look better, so that D.C. will look better.
Skeptical that these crime stats are accurate.
That's extraordinary. What is the motivation? Why are these commanders or higher ups arriving on the scene?
Hey, Josh, sometimes you got to pander to black women too, you know. Sometimes you got to make the black girls feel special too,
but
Josh.
I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
During apprehensions and telling police officers to indicate something other than what actually happened at the scene.
Well, the only explanation could be to keep the crime stats down because politically that's expedient for the police department and elected officials in the district. I mean, let's go back to how we got here, which is that in 2020, the DC City Council passed the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act, which was a sweeping piece of legislation designed to hamstring police officers, to reduce the size, scope, and responsibilities of police officers. In addition, it also prevented us from holding criminals accountable even when they're convicted of crimes. And so now here we are 5 years later, the police department with an authorized strength of 4,000 sworn members, we only have 3,180, leaving us with over 800 vacancies for the position of police officer. In order to make up for that gap, the police department uses 2 million hours of mandatory overtime to cover the demand for police officers. And so because of that, crime has skyrocketed in the district. And one of the things that we think is going on in the police department, which who knows how high up that those directives are coming from, is to make sure that these crime stats are reported in the most favorable way possible.
I mean, what you're saying obviously substantiates what we heard from President Trump. He said they were opening an investigation and that he didn't believe, because what happened, I don't have to tell you, I'm speaking to the audience at large, but when President Trump said he wanted to bring in National Guard, all we heard from many quarters in the media and in leadership in Washington was, this is ridiculous. Our numbers are lower than they've been in a long time in Washington, D.C. We don't need National Guard presence on our streets. I mean, this sounds very, very egregious. This is lying to the people, the constituents of Washington, D.C., and lying to the federal government about what your numbers really are.
They are lying to everybody about YNs. They don't want everybody to know just how dangerous the YNs really are.
One about life as usual over the weekend, including Jeff Menzer, who we met at a local farmer's market.
I generally feel safe. I go out at night. Fortunately, I do live in a neighborhood that is relatively safe. It actually has.
It's another Jeff. Jeff Levy, now Jeff Menzer, all these suspicious Jeffs. Where'd all these J guys come from? You got Jeff and Jeff. What's up with all these J guys telling us everything is fine? Is that weird that I'm noticing a pattern here? I'm starting to feel like the walls are closing in. Like there's this random J guy telling me everything is fine. Then there's this other J guy telling me that everything's fine. What's up with these two Jeffs, bro? Neither one of these Jeffs have seen anything. It's weird. It's weird. I wonder if that J guy is related to the other J guy, because they're both blind. I wonder if it's like genetic or something.
An ongoing police presence because it's on Capitol Hill, but random crimes do happen.
But a major reason cited by the Trump administration for placing the city under federal control was to target juvenile crime in the nation's capital.
DC police say the 3 teen carjackers got caught up in traffic,
which soared in Washington during the pandemic as well as around the country. It has since fallen to levels seen in other cities, but then came a highly publicized attack on a Trump administration official by a group of teenagers earlier this month.
And not only did that happen, those kids are out now. Those kids who got arrested for that attack on Big Balls there, they just got let out on some bail or something. Damn, I thought I had that story queued up. But yeah, they just got let out by like a black lady judge too. And so now those same kids are roaming the streets. I hope they get picked up by the feds or something like that. But yeah, she just let those kids out. And it's almost like people don't know how to read the room. You would think as a judge, but she's a black woman judge, so you know she's doing what she was supposed to do, I guess, right? But as a judge, you would just think like, yeah, this might not be the best guy to just let out on the street. Breaking: Biden judge Kendra Briggs has just ordered the release of the youth who attempted to murder Big Balls in the streets of DC. These delinquents need to be taken into federal custody if possible. They have no business on the streets of DC. So, according to this post, Kendra Briggs has freed the kids who attacked Big Balls.
I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else.
Shajib Udullah and his wife own this convenience store at Heckinger Mall in Northeast DC, an area long plagued by high crime. Their store was recently robbed and vandalized by dozens of teenagers, and Udullah says DC police needs more help.
It's like more than 30 kids robbing us, and they show up like more than 30 minutes later. That's when I don't think so they are enough. They might be busy for somewhere else. So I don't think so it's enough police around here.
They say they welcome the federal takeover, but at least so far, they say they haven't seen an increase in security.
There's like multiple problems converging into one area. It's like diversity, eating diversity. And you just can't, you don't have enough police to actually handle all the diversity now
in this neighborhood.
Of course, they're going to be over there quiet because it's close to the White House or the Capitol or something. They need to have it more. And then
that's his wife.
They know the crime is.
No.
Security in this neighborhood.
No fucking
of course
way.
They're over there quiet because it's close to the White House or the Capitol.
No fucking way. No, hey, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some Keisha in it. Ain't no, well, I mean, you know what? If the Arabs can do it, why can't the Jeets, man? If the Arabs can do it, why can't the Jeets? Oh, man. You just know there's all kind of scamming going on. All kind of money being exchanged right now. Oh my God, damn. Keisha Patel is wicked work, bro. Keisha Patel is amazing, wicked work, man. How about that black power for you? How about that black unity?
I want what you white hoes get, and I want it today, ASAP, not tomorrow.
We need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
Damn, son got him one of them things, boy. He got him that BBW thing. Oh no. Both of their hair is Indian. Yes, let's go.
They need to have it more in the DC area where they know the crime is.
Not far from their store, Abdullah Salim runs this boxing gym in the Trinidad neighborhood where he mentors local teens.
We need order in our city. If you don't have no order, you ain't got no city.
He hasn't seen an increased presence in his neighborhood either, but he says he supports what the president is doing.
I've been seeing a lot of atrocity, a lot of murders.
Of course you have. He's an older black man in the middle of the hood. You can't even bring yourself to lying about things that you've seen, bro. Of course you've seen things. That shit weighing down your old soul at this point.
A lot of innocent children, a lot of innocent babies, and there's nothing done about it.
And the handcuffs with no reason.
While much of the effort so far appears to have focused on areas closer to the White House, federal agents have shown up in some high crime areas of the city, but some residents aren't happy about it.
They started pulling up, just instantly hopped out, started arresting us, put one of my homies in handcuffs. Like
this 19-year-old who asked us not to use his name lives in Ward 8 in Southeast Washington, which has among the highest crime rates in the city.
And you know the thing about these neighborhoods, these red zones, hot spots or whatever, these are the kind of areas where, like, we were talking about this before, you know, if it's a neighborhood where during the middle of the day, young women with strollers are walking around or jogging or walking their dogs, that's a pretty good neighborhood, right? But if during the day it's a neighborhood where young men are just hanging about, grown men riding children's bicycles, shit like that, then you know you're in a terrible neighborhood. You know, niggas just milling about, as we talked about the other day, right? Well, that's the neighborhoods where niggas just be milling about. That's where shit happens at. You niggas just be milling about, waiting for something to happen. You just be waiting there until you make time, going to do something criminal, and then you go back and you mill about some more. And so now the police are coming right into the heart of your milling. No milling about anymore.
Week he recorded this video showing agents from multiple agencies at this housing complex, where he says he and his friends were simply hanging out late into the evening.
They had firearms, they had their weapons, and we ain't had nothing but just ourselves to protect and make sure everybody was good. They just basically harassing us for real.
People getting pulled over left and right. I seen checkpoints everywhere. I felt like I was in a foreign country.
Nathaniel Long co-owns District Alley, a bar in the popular nightlife area of U Street in Northwest D.C., where social media video has captured crowds reacting to the new checkpoints. He agrees that crime is an issue in D.C., but says the White House won't solve it by force alone.
It's like a takeover instead of like, let's add some aid and let's work with the local authorities and city. I mean, it's like a bull in a china shop. And it doesn't have to be that way.
This year, House Republicans have withheld more than...
The problem is, though, you guys haven't shown any ability to grapple with the issue now. And so now after your failure, you want to advise other people on how to do it successfully. Do you not get how that's just not going to work anymore?
$1 billion of DC's budget, while the White House has also made cuts, including to police, security, and the courts. That's added to many residents' skepticism about President Trump's plans for DC.
They told us they was coming every day, so that's basically what I'm expecting for them to come every day.
Problem is the threat is always going to be there. This administration, this president has a pretty short attention span that they will have to move on to something else. And perhaps they'll release the Epstein files.
We've gone through many dark times before, and I think this is just another dark time. And I do believe that it's up to us as, citizens to stay active and to not.
So you got two Jeffs and this guy Josiah. What's up with all these J people here? It's such a weird conspiracy of the J's, I'm noticing. You had the two Jeffs and now you got Josiah, and they're all like, everything's fine. I don't know what you mean. Everything's cool.
And I think this is just another dark time. And I do believe that it's up to us as, citizens to stay active and to not give up or give in.
That's right. Epstein was a Jeff. Isn't it weird? This weird convergence of all these Jeffs around this one situation. I'm just saying, bro. Listen, I'm gonna stop talking. My mind is getting all conspiracy brained right now.
The emergency authority gives the president power over the city's police force for 30 days, but he's already said he wants that extended.
Now they're saying that reservations went down since Trump came to DC, and there may be a tiny truth in that, because what I think might have happened is because liberals are petty like this. Liberals will economically boycott the area after Trump makes it safe to disprove Trump making it safe. You see how that works? Like, it's sort of like what happened a few years ago with that giant global issue that we all not supposed to talk about. Wink, wink. It's like you will crash the shit purposely to prove that Trump is a bad captain. Meanwhile, on the streets of DC,
we in Northeast DC. This is Rhode Island Avenue. I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, I've traveled this road hundreds of times. There's not even a piece of paper. There's not a bottle. I've been riding Rhode Island Avenue for about 2.5 miles. I have not.
The question I have is, if this is what it takes, why does it take so much? Because I'm okay with what it takes. But I think the conversation that needs to be had is, why does it take so much to make a black city so safe, right? Oh, this is like driving through Mayberry, and Mayberry only had 2.5 cops. I mean, you know, you had Andy. What were their names? I know you had the old guy. I mean, not the old guy. He was Matlock. I can't remember his name anymore. You had Matlock and you had Don Rickles, right? And I think you had their old grandma lady, and that was it. That's all you needed to make it Mayberry safe. Why do you need the National Guard to make a black city Mayberry safe, though? Why does it take all of these people with guns, led by this orange white man? Why do you need the orange law to crack down on niggas to make it Mayberry safe, though?
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it.
I've been riding Rhode Island Avenue for about 2.5 miles. I have not seen one piece of paper in the street. Nobody hanging out.
Shout out to Red Illusion. They just got orange lined. Get behind the orange line, nigga.
And this area has never been this has never really been a nice area in DC. Wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't somewhere that you would deem a good part of DC. And just look at it. Nobody hanging out. Just clean.
Can you imagine driving through a black neighborhood? Not even a black neighborhood, but a bad black neighborhood, and feeling just as safe as if you were driving through a white suburb 2.5 hours out of town? Can you imagine what that does to your mind? Can you imagine what that does to your body? Because your body reacts to stress too, just like your mind does.
Finally able to chill at a red light with my window down, not worried about if one of them young niggas is coming. Ride through the city.
Look. I told you, sometimes you got to pander to Keisha too, right? Sometimes you got to pander to Keisha. I want Keisha to be safe. I want her weave to blow in the wind freely.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. It's an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Look what we did for Keisha, y'all. Look how happy Keisha is. Look at what Trump did for Keisha, y'all. Look at how happy she is. Look at her weave blowing in the wind, feeling all melanotic at night. Look at that.
Finally able to chill at a red light with my window down, not worried about if one of them young niggas is coming. Ride through the city, feeling more safe than I ever felt. I really just be trolling. But no funny. It has been quiet as shit like for 2 days. That's good. I don't need to be taking nobody loved ones and babies and all that other bullshit. I need to be doing all that. Finally.
Hey man, it's good for everybody, isn't it? Isn't it nice to feel at peace? Isn't it nice to feel safe? Isn't it nice to be relaxed in your same old black neighborhood? Isn't it nice to feel nice?
It's actually pretty dope to see people make videos from the DC area sharing how peaceful it is now since Trump cleaned up the streets. It's really dope to see and witness. And it's like all over DC, not just the nice areas. And
hold up, Mr. O, let's talk about it. Mr. O says, but when a Keisha is safe, a black man dies. theoretically, that has been generally true. However, 0 murders in 7 days, Mr. O. How do you account for that? 0 murders in 7 days, bro. That's like bowling a strike after a strike after a strike. 7 days, just strikes after strikes, bro. Trump has bowled a strike 7 days in a row. Keisha safe. There's a couple niggas in jail. I mean, I ain't gonna front. Niggas in jail, but you know, niggas be strapped, niggas be doing shit, niggas be having warrants and all that. That's the business, bro. That's just business. That's just, you know, the mathematical calculations of it all. But nobody's been murdered. Not by niggas, not by police, not by anybody.
The Washington, D.C. area. When I shared on my Facebook page and my IG how there's a lot of people who are really happy with the streets being cleaned up. Ooh, a lot of people that I know where I'm from, which is PG County, they are like, no, it's unnecessary. No, it's this, is that. And it's just, you know, for anyone that thinks that this isn't necessary, it really does sadden my heart for people who think like that. It's like you just want to think the worst of the worst, just a negative, nasty mindset. And like a lot of these people that move like this, they claim they're Christians. They claim they are believers of Christ Jesus, and they are moving like that. Literally going by what the media says, claiming they seen reports. I've read articles too, and a lot of those articles that I've read about what's going on in DC are very biased, and all they're doing is just promoting fear. No one has been racially profiled in DC. No one has. And I'm not sure where people are getting these reports from besides false media. You know, I'm so glad I became a free thinker, and I'm so glad I have used critical thinking. Yeah, because if I didn't start doing this, I would have been like everybody else from my hometown, because I used to think like that. But the Lord delivered me, and I'm so glad that He did. I was carnal minded. I was a lukewarm Christian because of the area where I'm from. Because when you're living up there, folks just think you just go to church, say hallelujah, praise the Lord, speak in tongues, but I could go to concerts, I could do this and do that, whatever. It causes confusion within the mind, like, and that doesn't please God. So again, I know I just went left with my conversation, but my whole point is I'm happy for everyone in the DMV that feels safe, because y'all deserve to feel safe too. And on the real, that's one of the reasons why I moved away from home, because of the crime.
She didn't feel safe around niggas. Can you imagine feeling safe in the black part of town? Holy crap.
That was happening there, because where I used to live not that far from DC. I used to live 10 minutes away from Southern Avenue, Southeast, because I lived in Temple Hills. So to see what the president is doing and how folks are just like happy, I'm happy for y'all. I am extremely happy. And as much as I would love to post this on my other socials, I'm not, because all they're going to do is reject it. And you know what? That's on them, not me. So anyway, shout out to our president of the United States, for real. And shout out to my hometown, the DMV, for feeling safe. And yeah, y'all continue to enjoy the city and enjoy the peace that y'all deserve too. Amen.
And enjoy it while it lasts. Trump got 30 days. He might get a 30-day extension just to keep it going, but it's not going to be like that forever. You know, this is like setting you up with a good run, and you're going to have to take the reins back eventually, and we'll see what happens. But after that, Trump says he wants to move on to other cities, though.
Hey, Trump, you need to bring the National Guards to Chicago, man. You got kids killing kids, man. That's not good, man. Washington, D.C. is not much going on compared to Chicago, man. I'm running. It's a war happening right now in Chicago, man.
You sound like you running from your home country, brother. You sound like you might be running from ICE, though. We might have to drop your ad after this video.
Hey, look, man. Look, go on the news, or go on Google, type Chicago. I'm going back home to Africa, man. I can't.
Yeah, that's
Too much
right,
going on,
brother.
man.
Yeah, it's crazy here. You should leave. It's so fucked up here, bro. You really should go. Run fast, bro. They're about to start shooting right now.
Hey, Trump.
See, it's a lot of y'all out here talking about, yeah, Trump better keep it in DC. He better not come to Baltimore. He better not come to Chicago. I got some bad news for you. He's coming to different cities. So all of y'all that want crime, unalivings, carjackings, theft, and terrorizing in your cities, he coming for y'all too, man. Look, it's changing. Y'all can call it racism or whatever you want, man, targeting black people. But if you're not a criminal, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And let's just say, as a black man, let's say I get stopped and frisked, and it's unfair, and I'm not doing anything. Guess what I'm gonna do? Yeah, what y'all need? My license? Yeah, here you go. I ain't got nothing to hide. You know, I can very well be pissed about the situation because they stopped a black man. But if it means safer streets and I can enjoy myself in Washington, D.C., so be it. Oh, well, moving on with my day. I got other shit to worry about. And this needs to be done, man. You see endless videos, people robbing CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, especially out in L.A. and San Francisco. Shit crazy. But a lot of times, as long as it's not affecting y'all, y'all cool with it. So it'll be interesting.
Yes, hit that like button for me, y'all. Now I want to kind of get to the last part of this whole thing before we wrap this up, because I actually do have a job and I got to get out of here soon. But hit that like button for me, y'all.
Share your dollar, give me your dollar, share your dollar with me. Come on.
Trump wants to go to Chicago, and Chicago niggas is not happy about that.
There is new reporting this morning on what those plans look like. The Washington Post reports that the Pentagon has been planning a military deployment to Chicago for weeks in a model that could later be used in other major cities, according to officials familiar with the plans. It adds that the planning, which has not been previously disclosed, involves several options, including mobilizing at least a few thousand members of the National Guard as soon as September. The Post also reports that the use of thousands of active duty troops in Chicago also has been discussed, but is considered less likely at this time, according to two officials. Overnight, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said in a statement, "There is no emergency that warrants the President of the United States federalizing the Illinois National Guard, deploying the National Guard from other states, or sending active duty military within our borders." Donald Trump is attempting to manufacture a crisis, politicize Americans who serve in uniform, and continue abusing his power to distract from the pain he is causing working families.
It almost sounds like you don't want black people to be safe, man. You see black people in DC, they walking around, they driving around, they're happy, they're out at night, they're frolicking. Niggas can frolic in DC. It's like you don't want black people to frolic anymore. I'm starting to think you don't like black people being safe frolicking around Chicago.
On Friday, President Trump indicated that Chicago would be his next target, along with another Democratic-leaning city with a black mayor.
The people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. And so
there have been a couple of Chicago women basically waiting for Trump to come. They've been at these rallies like, wait, we're going to vote red so hard, we're going to bring Trump here to fuck you up. There've been a handful of black women in Chicago on that tip.
I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
And joining us now is the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Mayor Johnson, thank you for.
Look at Boy Reed trying to look all serious now. I can't stand MSNBC. They fired Joy Reid and gave us a Boy Reed instead. And I would have much rather have Joy Reid to mock and make fun of, because Boy Reed is just weird.
Coming back to the weekend, before I get your reaction to the Washington Post reporting, and what we just heard in that clip from President Trump, I'm going to play something else President Trump said on Friday with regard to your city.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough.
Damn, son. You said you light work, Brandon. You said, Brandon, your city light work, bro. Brandon do look a little psychopathic, though. No lie, Brandon looks like a low-key psychopath. He's like one of those really well-presented, clean-cut guys, and he has a trunk full of feet. It's like 42 feet in his trunk, just random feet from different people. No 2 feet actually match. Like, he's just a really psychopathic, strange guy under the surface. Like, and he's trying to keep it together. Every moment of his life is him keeping it together so they don't find all the feet in his trunk.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Your reaction to what you just heard.
Yeah. Well, listen, the president of the United States of America has repeated this, petulant presentation since he has assumed office. And, if the reporting is actually true.
Oh, no. Yeah. Brandon Johnson is totally a gay, psychopathic foot guy. I promise you, at the deep, dark core of all of his sins and his inequities, at the bottom of it all, he's a foot guy.
What he is proposing at this point would be the most flagrant violation of our Constitution in the 21st century. The city of Chicago does not need a military occupation. That's not what we need. In fact, we've been very clear about what we need. We need to invest in people to ensure that we can build safe and affordable communities. That's what I've done as mayor since assuming office. It's unfortunate that this president is working overtime to divide in his attempt to conquer working families and to conquer cities across America. But this is clearly a violation of the Constitution, and we're going to remain firm and vigilant in our commitment to ensure that.
It would be so terrible if somehow a nasty rumor got started that Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, is a gay foot guy. He's really into men's feet. It would be so messed up if that rumor just went around.
Our democracy is protected and our humanity is secured.
Mr. Mayor, it sounded like you said you've not been, the White House had not been in touch with you at all about this. And I just want to make sure that I heard that right.
That is correct. There has been no formal communications from the Trump administration to my administration. There's been no formal communications from the White House to our governor at this point.
Oh, you want formal communication? Oh, how about this?
Take control. Take control of your city.
Would that be formal enough for you? Because it's going to be just like that. I promise you. It's going to be exactly like that. And you ain't going to do shit. You're going to be mad. You're going to go to MSNBC and have a conversation with Boy Reed about it.
Again, this is all, I believe, an attempt to frighten and to raise anxiety across America. Here's what we're doing in Chicago. The fact of the matter is violent crime is actually down in Chicago. We've reduced homicides by almost 32%.
Are we going to have to get an accountant to run through your numbers? Are we going to have to bring the feds in to take some statements, man? Because I don't know if I trust you. It's in the eyes, bro. I don't trust you. Between the eyes and that little pointy haircut, you are an untrustworthy Negro.
Shootings and shooting victims, we've reduced that by nearly 40%. Robberies are down 35%. There's certainly more work to be done, but we are moving towards building the safest, most affordable big city in America. And what the Trump administration is...
I think you nailed it. Mr. O, I think you nailed it. Mayor Mohawk got them don't judge me eyes, bro. There's something going on in there. This nigga has deep, dark secrets he doesn't want anybody to know. Don't judge me, eyes. I can feel you judging me. You think I like feet, don't you? You're one of those people who think I'm in the feet, aren't you? I know it is something really wrong with this dude, I'm telling you.
Attempting to do is to roll back the hands of time and take us to a time period in which we know from the civil rights era where Dr. King described this type of act as one of the three evils. The militarization of our society is not who we are as a country. And I'm going to remain firm and vigilant to make sure that we're actually doing the work that works. And what we have seen in Chicago, when we invest in people, we drive violence down, whether it's investing in youth employment, investing in affordable homes, and quite frankly, investing in our Detectives Bureau, where we have revamped our entire detectives division to be able to solve violent crime. And we have a clearance rate of almost 76%.
You have a clearance rate of 77% on violent crimes. I mean, theoretically, that's possible because niggas are dumb and, you know, there be cameras up and they probably record a lot of their shit themselves. A lot of dudes going to jail off of Instagram and whatnot. But I don't trust your numbers.
So we're solving crime, we're reducing crime, we're investing in people, and that's what's working for the people of Chicago.
Mr. Mayor, one of the things that we've talked about on this show a lot, and that me and Jonathan talk off air about a lot, is that this doesn't appear to be.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Because the cities that the president has talked to.
We have to do it at least one time. I mean, there's three of them up there, for Christ's sake. I had to do it at least one time.
I talked about these major cities. All of that crime has gone down. In Chicago, we have down 13.3% in year-to-date totals, 7.1% down in Washington, D.C., 4.9% in New York compared with last year. It's declining over and over and over again. You see Oakland, Los Angeles, and Baltimore, cities that the president has also talked about. I guess when you're talking about you're going to, you know, you and the governor are going to protect the folks there, make sure that this doesn't happen. What are you guys planning to do? Maybe you don't want to tell us your plan, but folks, I think, watching want to know that there actually is something that folks can do because, you know, you said it's unconstitutional, but we've seen this president ignore many things that folks have said are unconstitutional, that weren't constitutional, him going ahead and plowing ahead and doing them anyway.
Yeah, well, again, look, the 10th Amendment is actually quite clear where states reserve rights. And that's something that's an important thing to note. And we will, take up legal action if necessary, whether it's my Department of Law or working with the governor. We're also in communications with our Cook County Board president. We're all.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Trump will bring the National Guard to Chicago under some type of hostile invasion because you got a sanctuary city and you're supporting illegals. Like there will be a theoretical legal structure that he'll operate with, but in reality, you can put your lawyers against his National Guard, and we'll see how that plays out. I think the National Guard will actually do a lot more politically than your lawyers will, because this is all going to be a political show, right? This is all going to be political wrestling. So, okay, Trump's going to bring the National Guard, and you're going to take it to court, and that's going to make you look good.
Aligned in the city of Chicago. In fact, this is a time for all of us to come together in this moment, and. There are some political differences certainly that we do have in Chicago, but I think in this regard, we're all very clear that the Trump administration is clearly in violation of the Constitution. And it's pretty straightforward for us. You either support the Constitution or you do not. That
is declaring your city a sanctuary city in and of itself a violation of the Constitution, because foreign matters are explicitly the purview of the federal government. Any foreign issue, anything related to a foreign nation whatsoever is the purview of the federal government. And if you as a sanctuary city decide that I will give sanctuary to citizens of foreign governments, are you not overstepping your bounds as a sanctuary city? Therefore, we just might have to invade you niggas. I know there was a lot of words, but long story short, we might have to invade you niggas because Mexicans. I know, right? It's dope. It's fucking dope. I like how this is working out.
Those are the only two positions that you can take. And again, whether it's legal actions, as well as the community as a whole coming together to push back in a very dramatic way against this administration. Because, you know, look, as I said before, we're doing the work here in Chicago, and you mentioned other cities around America, and whether it's, you know, what Brandon Scott is doing, Randall Woodfin is doing in Birmingham, Justin Bibb in Cleveland, my other counterpart, Mayor Johnson in Milwaukee, Karen Bass, Barbara Lee. I mean, these are all strong leaders across this country that have made critical investments in affordable housing, youth employment, mental and behavioral health care services. We are investing in people, and quite frankly, the most vulnerable people. With this.
Oh, you said there's a bunch of Venezuelans in Chicago? That's even better. We got a Navy frigate group. We got some kind of battle group right off the coast of Venezuela right now. We can make this a whole international thing. Those are Venezuelan militants that we have to remove from the heart of Chicago for safety. Don't you niggas want to be safe? And now we get to invade Chicago, extract the Venezuelans, and police the streets, because, you know, all that stuff. We're going to do all the things. And then we can, like, send them niggas back to Venezuela. And now they have to take them back because guns. We have guns, and they don't have the same guns that we have. We have guns on boats. They just got guns in the jungle. They don't want to fuck with our guns on boats. You know what I mean?
President is doing. He's declared a war on poor people. I remember when we had presidents that declared war on poverty. That's the opposite from this administration. You know, picking on homeless people, you know, picking on the most vulnerable. That is not what the people of Chicago are going to stand for. And so we'll use all means necessary to us to ensure that we protect the Constitution and we protect this beloved city.
Mayor Johnson, actually, I have two questions, struggling with which one to ask you, but I'll start with the more substantive one. Eugene asked you if you had any communication with the White House about the plans that are reported in the Washington Post. I'm wondering, what communications have you had with Governor Pritzker about what is to come, about federal intervention, especially since President Trump has been talking about sending in the military in some form to Chicago since his first run in the office between 2017 and 2021?
You know, in a weird way, you niggas should be proud. Like, the YN should be proud. It takes the actual military to put you niggas in check. Patrick, give yourselves a pat on the back. Takes the actual United States military to make you niggas behave.
Yes, well, the governor and I, we just spoke a couple of days ago. Our teams are in constant communications, as well as with our board president. There's an incredible strong alignment here. And, you know, to the point that I made earlier, you know, the president does not have the constitutional or legal authority to federalize the National Guard here in Illinois. It would be, again, a clear, flagrant violation of the Constitution and federal laws. You know, what we've said here repeatedly, and this is the conversation that the governor and I have on a regular basis, if the president was actually, you know, sincere about reducing violence in Chicago or anywhere else in this country, he would not have taken $800 million away from violence prevention dollars. You know, we've seen in his nasty bill where we've seen the largest concentration of wealth placed into the hands of the ultra rich. It reminds me of, you know, Justice Brandeis, who said, listen, you know, you can either have wealth concentrated into the hands of the few, or you can have a democracy, but you cannot have both. And this,
you know, this whole thing, especially with the racial overtones, because the Democrats, they want to play into it themselves, but this whole thing kind of, it reeks of like daddy's coming home to lay down order, and you wayward children are now, one, you're scared of daddy coming home and actually laying down the law, and two, now that he's here, it's like, all right, your room is totally wrecked. None of the things that you were supposed to do got done today. And you want to sit here and tell me But down the hall, the rich people's room is messed up too. And what about Sally? Sally, I don't give a shit about that. We're going to clean this up right now. We're going to deal with you here now. And they just hate having daddy come home and make them behave.
The president has attacked everything that's sensible about our society. He's taken food away from families. He's taken medicine away from families. He's defunded our education system.
You're going to go to bed without your supper.
The opposite, the antithesis to what we're doing here in Chicago, investing in affordable homes, investing in small businesses, making sure that the most vulnerable people have access to high quality education as well as healthcare, including mental and behavioral health care. So the governor and I have been very clear that not only is he in violation of the Constitution, we have to remain committed to ensuring that we're investing in working families. Look, the National Guard is not going to put food on the table. The National Guard is not going to, reduce unemployment. The National Guard is not going to give people access to health care. This president, of course, has demonstrated that he is inimical to the interests of working people. But here in Chicago, a pro-worker city, a city that said, yes, we can, a city that said, keep hope alive, right? This is the city where resistance came alive. Dr. King said, if we can do it right in Chicago, we can do it anywhere in the world. And that's what we're doing, building safe and affordable communities across Chicago. If the president was sincere about those type of investments, he would not be prancing around the country using unconstitutional means to ultimately extend his authoritarianism rule.
Mr. Mayor, in the time that we have left, I just want to get your reaction to another thing.
You would think that at least one of these black mayors would take the initiative that, all right, instead of having Trump come to my city and crack down on crime, maybe I should crack down on crime before he even gets here. That way, maybe he'll never even decide to come here, because we're going to be like, hey, look, man, these niggas in jail. I don't know what you're talking about. What crime? I locked all these niggas up, right? But see, nobody wants to think like that. Nobody wants to take the initiative and actually get their room cleaned up before daddy comes home to hand out an ass whipping. Everybody wants to do everything else but the right thing. And then when you get home, when daddy gets home, now you act like you're not supposed to get your ass whipped. What's wrong with you niggas, man? It's like actually dealing with children. This shit really is like the mind of children. I'm thinking about that whole Africa thing that we did the other day, bro. It really does kind of remind me of the Africa thing, man. Africa calls, bro. I swear to God, Africa is always off in the background.
I'm telling you, man, this the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
In the Washington Post story, and I'm reading directly here, it says, the use of thousands of active duty troops in Chicago also has been discussed, but is considered less likely at this time. We saw him do that with active duty Marines on the streets of Los Angeles. What would the reaction be in Chicago if the president of the United States does indeed put active duty military on the streets of Chicago?
Well, again, the city of Chicago does not need a military occupied state. That's not who we are. And I commend the work of Mayor Bass, my colleague, and all the folks in Los Angeles who stood up and fought, against this, authoritarianism. Here's the bottom line. They don't have police power. There's nothing they can do. These are federal troops. They do not go through the training that our police officers go through. So they cannot even enact police authority.
But Mayor Johnson, they don't have it now.
The president has, that's a good point, but the president has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to arrest 9 people in DC.
400.
That clearly he's demonstrated that he doesn't have a level of consciousness to understand what it takes to run cities, not to mention an entire country. And so, look, we're going to remain firm. We'll take legal action. But the people in this city are accustomed to rising up against tyranny.
Hold on. Is it just me? Did these two niggas have like some kind of weird zesty face fight just now? Like the two niggas next to him, it looked like they were communicating zestpathically. There was a weird zest battle going on with these two niggas. I don't know what just happened here. I was listening to Brandon, and then I started noticing those two guys on the left and right, and I'm like, are they communicating zest-pathically? It's a gay off? Like, what the hell was that? That was really strange. This whole thing just really strange.
That our police officers go through, so they cannot even enact police authority.
But Mayor Johnson, they don't have it now.
The president has. That's a good point. But the president has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to arrest 9 people in D.C. That clearly he's demonstrated that he doesn't have a level of consciousness to understand what it takes to run cities, not to mention an entire country. And so, look, we're going to remain firm. We'll take legal action. But the people in this city are accustomed to rising up against tyranny. And if that's necessary, I believe that the people of Chicago will stand firm alongside of me as I work every single day to protect the people of this city.
But Mayor Johnson, really quickly, and I was trying to interject there quickly, but they don't have that power now, right? Like what we have seen is that this president.
You niggas really gonna pretend you don't understand how the government works, bro? Of all the territory in America, Washington, D.C. is a special, singular territory. It doesn't work like any place else in the country. It is literally a federal property. These niggas just don't understand, and they don't want to understand because it's bad for their TV.
The administration are willing to stretch the bounds of everything. And so currently they don't have, policing power, but that may not be true for the foreseeable future. Anything could happen on the streets of Chicago if the president actually indeed puts, as he put it, regular military there.
Well, that's why we're all in lockstep here in the state of Illinois. As I continue to work with the governor, the Cook County Board President, these are strong partners and elected officials, as well as our faith community, our business leaders. Look, the city of Chicago, one of the most diverse economies in the world, right? Again, a city that.
You said there's only 2 other places like DC in the entire world. I'm guessing it's like the Vatican and probably a bank somewhere. There's probably a bank that's like an entire country unto itself, right? But nobody knows about it because you're not rich enough.
Has been, founded and established on the values of working people. We're not going to surrender our humanity to this tyrant. I can tell you this: the city of Chicago has a long history of standing up against tyranny, resisting those who wish to undermine the interests of working people. We're not going to back down. We're not going to cower. We're not going to bend. We're not going to break. We are Chicago. We are the soul of America, and we will maintain that posture from now until.
Mayor Johnson of Chicago, thank you so much for joining the weekend once again.
Thank you for having me.
And there it is. Trump is on his way to Chicago next, and niggas is afraid. Niggas don't want Trump to come to Chicago and make it safe, though. But why won't you just make it safe on your own? Why won't you solve the problem on your own? If you don't need his help, then you can do it on your own. And see, I think we've all been getting lied to about these numbers. Crime may have gone down to some degree, but nowhere near the way they want us to believe. And so what's going to really happen is a guy like Trump shows up and he basically just starts going through the books. And that's really what they don't want to happen, is for Trump and the feds to get a real close look at the books and on the ground and what's really going on there. Because then we're going to have to start putting cases on some of you niggas, and that's how it's really going to work. That's why he's
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
But that being said, y'all, we got to get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for coming through today. Hit that like button on your way out. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, join the show. Memberships are open. Please become a member of the church. We are always accepting new membership in the church.
Get it again. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I come in the name of Jesus. Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Because I really wanted to work this in here today just for shits and giggles. Let me share one totally bizarre interaction with you, and then we're going to wrap this up. Because there's no way to work this into a show. Like, it's just so bizarre. Like, there's no proper title for this. And if I did title it properly, I would get struck down. So I'm just going to sneak this in here at the end. This is what you get for staying the whole way. Now you get it. It's like when you watch a Marvel movie and you get that final little scene right at the end of the credits. It's like that.
Your daughter?
Yes.
Okay, I guess she went to school and said you have a baby in the box.
She's talking about my sister's baby that she had a miscarriage.
Is it like in an urn or something?
You know, like a jewelry box.
Yeah, but it's okay.
My sister had it hanging up right here, but the kids was touching it, so she moved it.
So your sister had a miscarriage.
Yes.
Did the whole funeral service and it's like a memorial type of box, or
No, I don't know why. She just put it in the box.
how far along was she?
Eddie,
Did she go to the hospital when she had the miscarriage?
No, I was there.
So I understand that this is probably emotional and everything else. We just need to see the box.
We just opened the box. The baby not in the box.
It gets so much worse. Oh my God. It gets so much worse. At no point in the video does anything make sense. And it's just spiraling down minute by minute. Like we jumped in to pure chaos, right? We got introduced to this family on a rumor of something chaotic and horrible. And it only gets worse as time goes on. This is the worst 1-minute video I think I've ever come across. I mean, there are probably worse videos than that, but they're literally illegal.
Your daughter?
Yes.
Okay, I guess she went to school and said you have a baby in the box.
She's talking about my sister's baby that she had a miscarriage.
Is it like in an urn or something?
You know, like a jewelry box.
Yeah, but it's okay.
My sister had it hanging up right here, but the kids was touching it, so she moved it.
So your sister had a miscarriage.
Yes.
Did the whole funeral service and it's like a memorial type of box, or
No, I don't know why. She just put it in the box.
how far along was she?
Eddie,
Did she go to the hospital when she had the
Not what you were
miscarriage?
expecting? This is not what you were expecting? This is not what you were expecting. You were expecting something? Oh my God. This is what you get for having expectations. Expectations will disappoint you every time. It's going to get so much worse than whatever you were expecting. I promise you. You know what? I apologize. That's how bad it's going to get. I apologize for whatever you were expecting. I don't know, unicorns and butterflies, 2 lesbians kissing on the sunset. I don't know, but that ain't this and this ain't that.
I was there.
So I understand that this is probably emotional and everything else. We just need to see the box.
We just opened the box. The baby not in the box.
Okay.
I think the dog chewed it up.
Nah,
Yeah. I broke down when the baby was gone.
but that is the box the baby was in.
Okay.
For sure.
You guys have a dog?
It was my brother's dog, but he just came and got his dog.
To be honest, it was probably the dog that dug it up. It probably smelled it and dug it up.
Yeah. I broke down one night because the baby was gone.
Oh God. Oh God. I have no commentary. Absolutely none.
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.